Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
That was my impression of an iPhone 3G eating its battery throughout the day. It happens. I have to leave my iPhone plugged in overnight, unless, of course, I want to wake up to a dead iPhone. That's no fun. I've yet to make it through a day of average use, in my opinion, average use without having to recharge it. Kind of sucks. I mean, I can't swap out the battery for another one because I can't do that with an iPhone or an iPod. Apple doesn't make it easy. So either I have to be close to an outlet to recharge, or I need an external battery pack. You might remember the Richard Solo that I reviewed a few months ago, and I thought it was the best one out there at the time. I can't say that anymore. It's kind of been supplanted with a better external battery pack for the iPhone 3G, and I'll get to that in a second. Of course, you could probably get a hint as to what it might be by looking at the subject line here in the video at live.pirillo.com at this very moment. Of course, we're recording this review live to tape. You might remember one of my biggest complaints about the original Richard Solo, original Richard Solo, as if there was a sequel, hint, hint, was that when you would insert it into your iPhone to recharge it, it was kind of not latchy. You'd put it in there, it would fall out. And that was a great concern. I would even leave it sitting on the table, and inevitably, if I did not have it perfectly situated, it would not recharge. And even then, it would only recharge if you were above a 20% battery capacity on the iPhone. Well, when I posted that review, that honest, candid review after purchasing that particular battery, or external battery, specifically for the iPhone 3G, Richard of richardsolo.com emailed me. That's not Richard's last name, but he emailed me, and he was grateful. He said, "Thank you for reviewing the product. You're absolutely right. Here are some of the things that we are going to be addressing, and, give us your feedback, et cetera, et cetera." I was like, wow. I mean, I've given, very frank feedback, to software developers, to hardware designers and engineers, and not all of them take it with a grain of salt. Richard did, and because of that, I wasn't filtered through any PR machine. It was just Richard to me, and I was like, okay, that's awesome. That is so amazing. I was like, yeah, that's great. I'm glad you watched, and I'm glad you understood my perspective, because this is the way it should have been. So we've been exchanging emails ever since, and I am happy to announce that all of that feedback that I kind of threw out there, as well as the feedback that you likely threw out there, is now likely included in the Richard Solo 1800. This is the new version. This particular package comes with the AC wall adapter. There's a 2-port USB car charger. And then, of course, the retractable USB charging cable is also included. This is the Richard Solo 1800. So that's 1800, by the way, stands for 1800 milliamp hours compared to the 1200 on the original line. This will charge a dead iPod from 0 to 100%. It's awesome. It's a little bigger than the original version, but it's got 600 more milliamp hours in there. It also has, I got to make sure there's a switch, an on-off switch on the back. An on-off switch for what? Well, an on-off switch for a laser pointer, so that, if I have it in the off position, then I can't press the button. Or for a light, so you don't have to carry those around. You can just carry one of these around and have an iPhone or iPod battery, as well as a laser pointer or a flashlight right there in your pocket. My primary complaint of the original one is that it would fall out when you slipped it in. This time, did you hear it click? Oh, and by the way, it vibrated because it's charging. Look at that. Here, it's in there. It's not coming out. It attaches. It is there. Not coming out until I squeeze a couple of the I guess they would be buttons on the side, which of course, because it's like, attached up there. You press the buttons and it pops out, kind of thing. Great. That was like really the only, well, I think it was really my primary complaint. I can't say it was my only complaint. That was my primary complaint, is that it didn't lock, and this one does. So it gets better. If I'm reading this right, and I mean, this is the spec sheet that he sent to me. I've only had this for a day, and it's worked like I expected it to. The latch works. That makes me happy. Of course, having a laser pointer and flashlight are kind of a bonus for me. Of course, having all the accessories like the AC adapter and the car adapter makes it even better. There are other features it has. It works with any iPhone or iPod, except for the Shuffle, I think, is the only one that it will not work with. It's also got a brace, that like a plastic brace, so if you don't use a case, like I use a case, so I can't really use this particular brace, but that will help, again, keep things nice and tight and steady. It is going to be selling for, at least according to the printout he has here, $69.95. The website may say different, but, and here's no joke. I mean, Richard really, he made me an offer I couldn't refuse. He said, "Hey, how'd you like to offer an exclusive to your friends, your viewers, your audience?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm down with that." So, if you go to richardsolo.com and you use the coupon code Pirillo, that's my last name, Pirillo, you can get 10% off the prices shown for any backup battery. Any backup battery from richardsolo.com, 10% off the posted price using my last name, Pirillo, Pirillo. But the code's only good till November 15th. Now, I have to throw this in there, too. Since it is going to be, this coupon is only going to be good till November 15th, my suggestion is that you compile your Christmas wish list and add this to it. Or if you know someone in your family or friends that you may consider getting this for, I'd get it now. Save the money, because this is going to be a great stocking stuffer. I mean, it would fit perfectly in a stocking. You could take it out of the box if you wanted to. No real need. I mean, it would fit in a stocking, the average stocking. Or it would make a great present as well. This is, after doing as much research as I have done on these types of external batteries, this is the best one out there. And I'm not just saying that because Richard took a personal approach. It was the reason why I got the first one. I'm pretty picky as far as this stuff is concerned. They fixed all of the problems that I had with the original line, the Richard Solo 1200. And more importantly, this is why I think this is leading the pack. I guess no pun intended, battery pack. Is that I've got an external case, or a case, sitting around my iPhone. I don't have to remove it to use this right away. And some external battery packs they require you to either take off your case or they replace the case altogether, and that doesn't fly with me. I'm not into that. When my case is on, I want it to stay on. I don't really use a traditional dock. I usually just use a cable, or now using an external battery pack. The nice thing about the Richard Solo, again, is that while you've got it plugged into your iPhone, you can plug this end into, by mini USB to just a regular old USB port, charge this as well as this at the same time. And I believe the car adapter, if I'm reading this right, well, there's a separate BlackBerry version, beyond the iPhone or iPod version, but it is a 2-port USB charger. So you could charge 2 USB devices off the same car adapter. Again, that's thinking of everything. So now you've got the ability to charge, through a USB port in a computer, or wherever, or through an AC adapter, or in your car. I mean, really, the only other place would be like an airplane, in which case you could bring this along with you, and it's going to essentially double the life of your iPod or your iPhone. What not to like? I can't think of anything that is possibly missing with the Richard Solo 1800. It's exactly what I would want. I mean, the only thing I could want more of is like life. I mean, I would kill if I could get more life out of this thing. Of course, being able to carry it around in my pocket. It's almost like it kind of looks like a mini iPhone. It's kind of it is. It's like a mini iPhone. And you say, well, gee, isn't that a little big? I'm like, you know what? If this is basically doubling the life of this, I don't care how big it is, at least as long as it's not bigger. I'll be carrying this around with me because you never know when you're going to need the juice. And the fact that it isn't going to shake loose makes me happier. He also, Richard took a very personal approach. As I said, this is an exclusive, the Pirillo 10% discount. He's sent emails from his personal account, been emailing me constantly, keeping me up to date as to what's going on. Included a letter in with this, and noting that this battery's got the real latching mechanism. He said, don't pull it out. You got to press the buttons to pull it out to unlatch it. He says there's a removable support brace, so if you don't have a casing around it, it will help so that it stays it locks it in tighter. Not that it needs to be any tighter for the way I've been using it. Let's see here. Any pre-order will be charged on the credit card at the time of order. Unfortunately, he can't change that, but they'll get first shipment, the additional 10% discount, and a very generous return privilege if they want a refund. You're not going to want a refund with this. This is good. And let me tell you, I know Richard now. I can say I know Richard. If you don't believe me, he signs off here, and this is also in the email. He said, you're the only person in the entire world, he's talking to me, besides him and Apple, that has seen this new product or actually touched it. It'll be in stock and shipping November 5th or sooner. So put your orders in now. This is okay. So maybe this is just the geek in me, but on the back of my Richard Solo 1800, the serial number reads 000002. Very good, Toast Paint. This is the second one, and it works like number one. I'd only assume that Richard has got number one. At least I'd hope. So there you go. Save some money. A good idea for a gift any time of year. If you know of someone with an iPod or an iPhone, and I'm sure you have someone in your family or in your friend circle, doesn't matter really where they are, who needs something like this. Save 10%. Dude, so cool. So Richard, thank you for responding. Thank you for creating this, because I needed it. See here, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Free USA and Canada shipping, at least according to the website. That's nice. Yeah, I think I covered it all. It works. It's what I needed. It's what I wanted. No joke. Thanks. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of beside myself. 000002. Remember, save 10%. Pirillo. My email address is chris@pirillo.com. Maybe you make something that I might want to look at and share with my small audience. I guess it's kind of small. We got 40,000 people on YouTube. It's kind of not that big. We're working on it, though. And we've also got a community of geeks. We're typically talking tech, posting hardware and software reviews, asking for recommendations, making recommendations at geeks.pirillo.com. You're more than welcome to join us there. In fact, today we passed 7,500 geeks. So that means we're going to be giving away, I think, 5 to 10 webcams from Microsoft now. Gotta love being a geek. And if you want to join us in the chat room, you're more than welcome to. It's always a part of this live video experience. So even if I'm not here, the chat room certainly is. And you never really know what's going to be happening. So you're more than welcome to stop by and watch the live video and participate in the chat room. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.